What's up, everyone? This is Marie Larsen, and you are listening to The Audio Entrepreneur. I've spent the last year and a half doing podcasts and content creation for some of the fastest growing entrepreneurs today. Their strategies and tips have been life-changing once I took action. So I decided to take my audio industry to the next level by building a 7-figure company that teaches people how to create, strategize, and repurpose their content like a pro. The question so many people are wondering is, how is she going to do it? This podcast is here to give you the answer. Join me as I explain marketing strategies to grow my online business. My name is Marie Larsen, and welcome to The Audio Entrepreneur. All right, what is up, everyone? This is Marie Larsen again, and I'm so excited to have you back on The Audio Entrepreneur. I'm so excited, too. I have a guest star with me here today. Jacob, will you go ahead and introduce yourself for us?
Of course. How you doing, Marie?
Good. I'm so excited to have you on here.
Thank you for having me. I'll just start off with a little background. I don't know how much of the background you want to go into here, but essentially what I do on a day-to-day basis, I run a digital marketing agency with a focus on Google Adwords. So primarily working with service-based clients. That's just a general niche I like to be in, companies that provide services. I'm just performingly doing Google Ads for them.
Awesome. That's so good. So let me ask you then, how did you get into this? Because Google AdWords probably wasn't your childhood dream. It probably wasn't something that you're like, when I grow up, I'm going to be a Google AdWords guy. How did you get into this?
Right. It's funny. So my entrepreneurial endeavor started in the network marketing world. So that's really what put the initial desire in there. And toward the end of kind of my network marketing career, I actually had the unique opportunity up in Michigan when I was living there to work alongside Google with one of their vendor programs. So I was actually trained directly by Google. I've consulted with businesses on behalf of Google and did that for just over a year. And I just fell in love with the concept of going into business to help other businesses. And that's why I left Google and started my own agency. So that's kind of what birthed the desire there.
Okay, cool. That is so awesome. That's so cool. So going off of that then, how long have you, well, let me ask you this. Is there a certain amount of time that it took to get into this? Or for someone who's just starting out, how did you get started into all of this? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So for me, like I said, it's unique because, I didn't find a course on Facebook. I didn't read a book. I learned this information right from the source itself. It was Google who came in and trained us on the platform. But for somebody who doesn't have that type of opportunity, there are books. I actually have one sitting right next to me here. That's called Google AdWords. It's called The Ultimate Guide to Google AdWords 5th edition. It's by Perry Marshall, Mike Rhodes, Brian Todd. So I would highly recommend that book. I personally go through it, and it's very, very easy to understand, pictures, all that good stuff in there. So I would start there, and Google itself has a lot of resources as well. Support.google.com. That's their support website. I still use that to this day as well, just because if you're in marketing or in that field, that stuff is changing very rapidly. So you have to always stay up to date, and the platform is always updating and changing. So those are a couple of good sources to start with.
That's awesome. So within those books then, what was the number one topic or trick or tip that you learned in there that completely changed your mindset for Google AdWords then?
That's a really good question. It's hard to, I guess, narrow it down to just one, but if there's one that was really like this just aha moment in here, and it's funny because it doesn't really have to do with Google AdWords, but at the same time it does, because it has to do with your landing page as well. And it's just about the organization of your landing page, like how people, when they start reading, they read from left to right. So it talked about on your landing page, making your call to action what you want them to see first on the left side of the page, because that's just how people read. So that's naturally where your eyes are drawn to when you first open up something. And it actually, I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but it actually broke down what the percentages was when they did split testing with it. And it was a pretty good difference that would make an impact. So I don't know. I've never forgot about that. And when I read it, I just got on my phone, went on my Instagram story and was like, oh my gosh, you guys wouldn't believe this, and I started talking about it. So that's really the most interesting thing that's in there, which again, not to do with Google AdWords, but it does impact Google AdWords because that's where you're sending traffic to. So So that'd
Absolutely.
probably be it.
um, I really like that. And well, okay, let me ask you this then too. So like getting started then, what was the hardest part about getting started? Because I'm sure breaking off from Google was like a really scary thing to do, because Google's, well, it's Google.
Right.
And so how was that? What was the hardest part about starting up your own agency going off of that?
Yeah. Good question. So my biggest fear in leaving there was being out of touch with new information. We had weekly meetings there. This is a new feature in AdWords that's rolling out. This is a new finding that we've done through research, because Google's a beast, right? They have all this money to do all this testing, and they're constantly revealing new strategies and new data with us. So I was like, I can leave and go more of the freedom route, but now I'm not like with the source getting the information. Or I can leave and just, stay in tuned and continue to listen to podcasts. I'm subscribed to all of Google stuff. I get all their emails. So I'm constantly reading that stuff as well, to stay up to date. But that was probably the hardest thing, was giving up access to all the resources and all the stuff that we had accessible when I was there.
That's so good. Well, I mean, it's true. Like that's got to be a really scary thing. So like with that, then is there a certain email list or something that people should get in on if they're trying to get started with Google AdWords, that they should be in on to get started and make sure that they're being up to date as well?
Totally. Yeah. If you, I'm trying to think of what the actual email list is called, or where you get onto it. It's called like Google Thought Starter. I believe if you type that in, I'm sure you can find it. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the actual email list is called, but if you type that into Google, or type in, Google AdWords support and stuff like that, you should definitely be able to find it in there.
That's awesome. And so what was when you started up your agency, then when you started and got going, how did you go about finding clients?
So when I first started, I just started in the warm market, trying to start with people I already knew. One of my first clients came just from a networking event, which isn't necessarily warm, right? But I was just trying to do stuff like inside the area. Another one came from leaving church and seeing a landscaping truck in the parking lot. So I took a picture of the truck, got home, looked at their website, and realized that it was a GoDaddy template that had like 20 words on it with a picture of their logo. And a phone number, right? It was like, I was like, whoa, you guys need help. So I, reached out to them, and, I actually still do work with them to this day. So that's really what I started, making the Facebook posts like, hey guys, this is what I'm doing. If you are a business owner, a business owner, tag them here or reach out to me. So I just started offering services for a pretty low price, lower than I was definitely worth, just knowing my background and like what I was able to do for a business. But obviously, if you don't have a track record outside of working with them, it just takes that time to build. So started off low, and just since then I've, increased and have done my own, just started getting into my own like outbound marketing finally. So, which is exciting.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. And so then going with that, would you say that there is a significant difference in your agency since using social media?
Yeah, specifically Instagram, which I've really focused on doing a lot of branding on there, and trying to brand myself more as like the quote Google guy. I tell people, like, when people say Jacob Hicks, right, I want them to, the next word out of their mouth is
The Google guy.
Exactly. So that's what I'm currently in the process of. So always, again, like on my story, I talk a lot about my personal life as well, because I think that's important to do. But I also, we'll talk about, the marketing and Google and stuff like that, and just trying to provide value. And from that, I've had a handful of people that have reached out to me and, have just asked questions or asked for help. And, I've helped them, because I'm going to be coming out with a course shortly. And I've told these people, like, look, I'm going to help you, no charge at all. We'll share screens. I'll give you some insights into what I know and what to do, but I just need a testimonial from you.
There you go.
That's kind of the little exchange I did there. And yeah, so that's what primarily Instagram is what I've used in terms of social media for branding.
Okay. So how did you go about your Instagram growth for that then?
Yeah, so I've actually kind of a smaller side project I do. It's not really a main focus, but I actually do own a company that co-own a company that does help with Instagram marketing, Instagram growth. So there's like a software that's essentially helping go out there and target people based upon the hashtags that they're using, the accounts that they're following, and all that different stuff. So I have that running, which helps kind of automate a lot of the initial contact so people actually notice me. I've also done giveaways, where other accounts will post a giveaway in order, like an influencer, right? With 1 million followers will post this giveaway. And the only way for people to enter that giveaway is to go follow who that influencer is following. And since I paid to enter the giveaway, they'd be following me during that time. So I'd get followers from that as well. So a mixture of both of those has gotten me to where I'm at, and just started to build the beginning of a brand that actually, makes you look like you're credible. Because the first thing, social media, it's, the followers, they're cool, but at the end of the day, what they're really for is for credibility. And when people go to your Instagram and they look at it and they see this, it looks like you know what you're talking about, even if you really don't. So followers will do that. So
your credibility. That's awesome. So what is the name of this company that you are co-founding with?
So the name of the Instagram company is Growfluence. The website's www.growfluence.com. And it's also in my Instagram bio as well, if you guys follow me on Instagram, which is at Jacob T. Hicks.
Cool. Yeah, I totally follow you. It's awesome. But like going on, so your social media is kind of like your business card of, your digital business card of today. And so going about having the Google guy and having, your Instagram just exploding like that, you would say that what you've been doing in these last couple months, it's been pretty successful, right?
Yeah, I'd like to think so.
Yeah, there you go. And you've been doing this for how long now, for being claimed as the Google guy?
Yeah, so I've been working inside of kind of the Google AdWords space now for about 2.5 years, approaching 2.5 years. But I've only been doing it full time within my agency for 8 months now.
Okay, wow, that's awesome. That's so good. Well, hey, we're probably going to wrap up here soon, but what is the best way for people to get in contact with you, to figure out more about what you do, and if they need help with Google stuff or Instagram stuff?
Of course, yeah. So obviously you can follow me on Instagram. That's a good place to reach out to me. If you're interested in specifically learning about Google AdWords, I am going to be coming out with a course here in the next month or so, which is called AdWords Accelerator. So if you guys go to adwordsaccelerator.com, you can just enter in your name and email there. It'll just add you to a list, and you guys will be the first ones to know about the program once it is ready to roll out in the next month or so.
Awesome. I will totally be jumping in here and doing that, because I need all the help I can get. Let's be real. But
right. Awesome.
Hey, thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Catch you around.
All right. See ya.
Boom! Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate and subscribe. Do you have questions for me? Go to the Facebook group, Profitable Podcasting Strategies for Entrepreneurs, and I'll be sure to do an episode to answer your next question. Again, guys, my name is Marie Larsen, and this is The Audio Entrepreneur.